A wise man once said, "Find a job you love and you'll never work another day in your life." What he forgot to say was that you'll probably wind up unemployed because the job you love probably doesn't pay well, or there aren't a lot of people hiring, or, well, let's face it, no one really wants to pay you to be a couch potato. Although, hey, we all love that job, right? Anyway, I am of course fat, naked, and this therefore must be a Naked Truth blog. And this week Tricia Hirschberger has elected to ask us, the Naked Army, what is your dream job? And given the fact that I just spent the last 2 days writing a month's worth of product reviews, you might be able to infer that my dream job would clearly be that of a writer. And interestingly enough, it's never seemed to make any difference what it is I'm writing. The fact that I am simply writing something, putting words together in an artistic manner, seems to be it. Really. You know, I'll say this much, I often find working with other writers to be very frustrating because they just don't have the vision. You know, here's one of the things that I have to tell you about being a writer. For example, being a film writer. You know what? A good film writer does not need a big budget. Any idiot can write a film that's going to be $100 million. It takes talent to write a film that's going to have a zero budget. That's the thing. And when you look at indie films, you'll notice most of them are terrible. And the reason most of them are terrible is because people just don't get it. It's like, no, that's not good. You don't have the money to make that work. Don't do that. Does it have to be this way? Because there's a cheaper way to do it over here. It's one of those things. So that's kind of my big thing. Now, the major frustration of someone who is a writer is that to become a writer, you basically need to write something and then sell it to someone. And then once you've done that, once you've proven yourself, then an agent might actually be interested in you. But I mean, you go online and you type in literary agent, and you get a bunch of criminals and crooks and scam artists. So trying to find somebody who's worth dealing with out of all of that is very difficult. And I've had a number of friends come out there and tell me, they say, well, why don't you just self-publish? And I say, well, because I don't have the money to advertise. Because that's what you need to do to self-publish. And I mean, I would have to send my stuff to a professional editor and get it edited properly, so I know 100% that there aren't any spelling or grammatical errors that I have to worry about. That's very important to me, and it's one of those things you'll have to understand. First editions often have a lot of spelling and grammatical errors, and then people come back and say, hey, fix that. I really don't want that to be me. So to get a full-length novel properly corrected, that's about $2,000. So when you send it to them, you better really know that this is it. This is what you want the world to see of your work. Not only that, but yes, there are publishers that will read your work even if it's not accompanied by an agent. But also understand that when you send it to them, you're lucky if you hear back in 6 months. So, and then when you do hear back, they say, oh, we're sorry, we're not interested. Don't tell you why. You know, you've got nothing to go on other than the fact that they weren't interested. You might as well just send it back to them without even thinking about it because they've said nothing to you. So, yeah, my dream job has always been to be a writer. It's harder than you think, I guess. Anyway, peace and long life.